At the start of the drama, we meet Jia Shin, a kind-hearted administrative assistant who always helps her coworkers and never says no to anyone. One day, her boyfriend Gucci waits for her outside. While waiting, he keeps checking out other girls passing by. When Jia Shin arrives and apologizes for being late, Gucci acts understanding and invites her to spend time with him while he cooks dinner. However, Jia Shin refuses to stay overnight with him because of her mother's advice. Gucci becomes disappointed, but Jia Shin soon notices an advertisement for a romantic Costa cruise in Venice. Excited by the idea, she suggests they take the trip together and offers to pay for everything, which immediately cheers Gucci up. Meanwhile, a talented ballet dancer named Anna performs in a competition and impresses all the judges. They offer her a chance to train in Paris and join their ballet company as the Black Swan. However, Anna rejects the offer because her dream is to perform as the White Swan Odette. The judges remind her that no dancer from her background has ever received that role at the Paris Opera. At that moment, Shi Yi arrives. Anna happily hugs him, surprising everyone. Shi Yi encourages her to follow her dream, and Anna declares that she would rather stay by his side than accept a lesser role. Smiling, Shi Yi jokingly tells the judges that he is taking their future Odette away and leaves with Anna. Later, Jia Shin and Gucci board the beautiful Costa cruise ship. Jia Shin is thrilled, but Gucci quickly becomes distracted after noticing an attractive woman. He leaves Jia Shin carrying all the luggage while he follows the stranger. At the same time, Shi Yi and Anna also arrive on the ship. Shi Yi leaves Anna with the bags while he goes to check in. As Jia Shin walks through the ship, she accidentally bumps into a waiter, causing food to spill. Because her outfit resembles the staff uniform, the waiter mistakes her for an employee and harshly orders her to clean the mess. Embarrassed, Jia Shin starts cleaning, but Anna witnesses the scene and immediately defends her. After learning that Jia Shin is actually a guest, the waiter repeatedly apologizes. During the confusion, two playful children accidentally switch Shi's bag with Jia Shin's luggage. Grateful for Anna's kindness, Jia Shin thanks her. Anna notices a stain on Jia Shin's dress and kindly covers it with a scarf from her bag. Touched by the gesture, Jia Shin leaves with the wrong suitcase. Shortly afterward, Anna receives an exciting phone call from one of the judges. He tells her that she has finally been chosen to play the White Swan and must come to Paris immediately for training because this is her final opportunity. Meanwhile, Anna receives a call informing her that the opportunity to become the White Swan in Paris is finally hers. Although excited, she feels conflicted because it means leaving Shi Yi again. At the same time, Shi Yi is secretly preparing to propose to Anna. He thanks the ship's captain for helping arrange the special event and reveals that the woman who wears the ring will become his future wife. Determined to confess his feelings in front of everyone, he continues practicing his proposal after the captain leaves. As Shi rehearses, Jia Shin happens to walk by and notices him talking to himself. Just then, two playful children accidentally bump into him, causing the engagement ring to slip from his hand. The ring rolls across the deck, and both Shi Yi and Jia Shin chase after it. Eventually, it falls onto a safety net hanging below. Ignoring the danger, Jia Shin leans over to retrieve it while Shi Yi warns her to be careful. She insists on helping and asks him to hold her hand. As she reaches farther, Shi Yi loses his grip and Jia Shin falls straight into the pool. Without hesitation, Shi Yi jumps in after her and pulls her to safety. When Jia Shin loses consciousness for a moment, he prepares to give her CPR. However, she suddenly wakes up, coughing water onto his face. Embarrassed and annoyed, Shi Yi scolds her for taking such a risk. Laughing, Jia Shin hands him the recovered ring and wishes him success with his proposal. Grateful, Shi thanks her, and the two return to their rooms. To their surprise, they discover that their rooms are directly opposite each other. After entering, Shi realizes Anna is missing. Later, both open their suitcases and are shocked to find that their luggage has been switched. Jia Shin finds men's belongings, while Shi discovers women's clothes inside his bag. They quickly meet outside, confirm the mix-up, and exchange the suitcases. Soon after, Shi notices 16 missed calls from Anna and immediately contacts her. Anna apologizes and reveals that she has returned to Paris because she was finally chosen to perform as the White Swan. Though heartbroken, Shi listens as she explains that this role is her lifelong dream and an opportunity she cannot abandon. She asks him to forgive her one more time and allow her to pursue the future she has always wanted. Shi eventually forgives Anna and asks her not to leave him unexpectedly again. Anna promises she won't and ends the call by telling him she loves him. Meanwhile, Jiaxin receives a call from Gucci, who asks for her room number and tells her he'll meet her later. Unbeknownst to her, Gucci is secretly spending time with another woman. As Jiaxin gets ready, her hair becomes trapped in the zipper of her dress. Unable to free it herself, she asks Shi Yi for help. Though surprised that she didn't seek assistance from a woman, Shi Yi agrees after hearing that the hotel staff are busy. Carefully, he cuts the trapped strands and helps her fix the problem. Grateful, Jiaxin wishes him luck with his proposal and jokes that if she were his girlfriend, she would definitely say yes. After thanking him, she leaves but accidentally takes his room card while he ends up with hers. Later, Shi Yi realizes he cannot enter his room because of the card mix-up. While trying to sort it out, he overhears Gucci talking badly about Jiaxin while flirting with another woman. Sensing something suspicious, Shi Yi secretly records the conversation. He then finds Jiaxin and encourages her to eat with him, insisting that her boyfriend is not coming. When she questions him, he shows her the wrong room card and convinces her to return to her room with him. There, Jiaxin discovers the heartbreaking truth. Gucci is lying on the bed with another woman, who is even wearing Jiaxin's dress. Shocked, she demands an explanation. Gucci quickly makes excuses and then tries to shift the blame onto her, accusing her of being unreasonable. Before he can continue, Shi Yi plays the recording of Gucci mocking Jiaxin and flirting with the other woman. Exposed, the woman quickly leaves the room. Devastated, Jiaxin runs away in tears and Shi Yi follows her. Through her sobs, Jiaxin blames herself for everything. She admits that she spent beyond her limits and worked tirelessly just to earn Gucci's love, hoping she was good enough for him. Feeling lost and heartbroken in such a huge world, she finally realizes that all her efforts were never appreciated by the man she trusted most. Heartbroken, Jiaxin compares herself to a disposable sticky note that no one notices. Trying to cheer her up, Shi Yi points out that her oversized glasses and plain hairstyle hide her natural beauty. Jiaxin agrees but reminds him that his girlfriend must be waiting. Shi Yi sadly reveals that Anna left him as well because her ballet career came first. Realizing they have both been abandoned by the people they loved, Jiaxin sympathizes with him. Instead of staying miserable, Shi Yi decides to help Jiaxin regain her confidence. He takes her to a makeup artist and insists on giving her a makeover. Despite her protests, he removes her large glasses and leaves the rest to the stylist. After some time, Jiaxin emerges looking completely transformed. Everyone around them is stunned by her beauty, including Shi Yi. Encouraging her to be proud of herself, he tells her that she deserves to be the center of attention. The two spend the rest of the day together, enjoying the cruise and watching the sunset. For the first time since her heartbreak, Jiaxin feels genuinely happy. Meanwhile, Gucci is having fun with the woman he cheated with. Their peaceful moment is interrupted when Shi Yi and Jiaxin arrive together. Gucci is shocked by Jiaxin's stunning new appearance, and she finally stands up to him with confidence. To teach Gucci a lesson, Shi Yi challenges him to a game of snooker. Before the match begins, he playfully places the ring on Jiaxin's finger. Gucci confidently accepts the challenge and even agrees to a wager. The game starts with Gucci taking an early lead, but Shi Yi steadily catches up despite being a beginner. When the final shot arrives, Shi Yi guides Jiaxin's hands and the two make the winning shot together. The crowd cheers as the last ball drops into the pocket. Jiaxin is overjoyed and hugs Shi Yi, while Gucci is forced to admit defeat. Embarrassed by the outcome, the other woman quietly leaves, leaving Gucci alone to face the consequences of his action. After winning the snooker match, Shi Yi jokingly tells Gucci to keep his promise and eat the ball. Embarrassed, Gucci apologizes and quickly runs away. Seeing this, Jiaxin finally feels satisfied and Shi Yi asks if she enjoyed her revenge. As they leave, Jiaxin returns the ring to him. Nearby, a beautiful wedding setup is glowing with lights and decorations. Jiaxin admires the romantic scene, unaware that it was originally arranged for Shi Yi and Anna. Suddenly, Shi Yi realizes he forgot to cancel the ceremony. Before he can explain, the captain announces the couple's wedding to all the guests. Both Shi Yi and Jiaxin try to stop the misunderstanding, but the captain mistakes their gestures for excitement. Soon they are brought onto the stage and asked if they accept each other as husband and wife. Caught in the moment, they both answer yes. The ceremony continues as Shi Yi places the ring on Jiaxin's finger, and together they sign the marriage certificate. While signing, Jiaxin finally learns Shiyi's name and he notices hers as well. When the crowd asks them to kiss, Shiyi gently kisses her forehead instead. The newlyweds are then encouraged to dance, and despite Jiaxin's nervousness, Shiyi guides her through it with confidence. The next morning, both wake up in the same bed and immediately panic. Confused and embarrassed, they quickly separate. As Jiaxin recalls the previous night, she remembers that after the wedding celebration and several drinks, they had unknowingly returned to the room together. Later, Jiaxin meets Shiyi and returns the rings, insisting that she is fine and that the marriage was simply a mistake. However, Shiyi is frustrated by how easily she dismisses such a serious situation. Jiaxin explains that he had planned a future with Anna and should not feel responsible for her because of one unexpected event. She believes he deserves happiness and shouldn't be tied to her because of an accident. Even though Jiaxin tries to act strong, her words reveal how little she values herself. She quietly admits that she only hopes to one day find someone who can truly love her and accept her past. Wanting the best for Shiyi, she encourages him to move forward and find the happiness he originally planned for himself. Shiyi is deeply affected by Jiaxin's words. Holding back tears, Jiaxin tells him that she is just an ordinary girl, but he helped her see her own worth. She insists that what happened between them should be treated like a dream, and that neither of them should blame themselves. Believing it is best to move on, she says goodbye and leaves, leaving Shiyi lost in thought. Meanwhile, a young man named Dylan challenges a gambler named Tom to another game. Having lost many times before, Dylan asks for Tom's lucky chip instead of money if he wins. When Tom questions him, Dylan reveals that he is searching for his missing sister and hopes the chip will bring him luck. Later, while carrying the chip, Dylan accidentally bumps into someone, causing it to roll to Anna's feet. She kindly returns it to him, and the two soon find themselves interested in the same decorative item at a nearby shop. Amused by the coincidence, the shopkeeper jokes that they seem destined to meet. Dylan smiles and lets Anna have the item. After returning home from the cruise, Jiaxin goes back to work. During the day, she receives a message that leaves her completely shocked. The notification reveals that her marriage to Shiyi has been officially registered. Soon after, Shiyi contacts her, and the two rush to the consulate to clear up the misunderstanding. Unfortunately, the official informs them that the marriage certificate is genuine and legally valid. Both Jiaxin and Shiyi explain that the wedding happened by mistake and ask if it can be cancelled. However, they are told that the marriage cannot simply be erased because it was legally registered. Hoping for another solution, they visit a marriage registration office to inquire about a divorce. After checking the records, the staff member delivers more surprising news. Since the marriage was registered in the Bahamas, any divorce process must also be completed there. Hearing that they would need to make a long 40-hour journey just to end the marriage leaves both of them speechless. Later, while discussing their options at a restaurant, Shiyi asks his assistant to arrange 2 tickets to the Bahamas. Feeling guilty about all the trouble, Jiaxin sincerely apologizes, knowing that the unexpected marriage has complicated both of their lives. Feeling guilty about the accidental marriage, Jiaxin says she never should have signed the certificate. Shiyi immediately tells her not to blame herself. Their conversation catches the attention of 2 nearby women, who mistakenly assume Shiyi is treating her badly and begin criticizing him. Embarrassed, Shiyi softens his tone and asks for Jiaxin's passport so he can arrange their trip to the Bahamas. Afterward, he drops her off at work, where her friend Si Chi notices her arriving in an expensive car. Later, Shiyi visits Jiaxin's company with his manager. While waiting, he mistakenly follows another employee, thinking she is Jiaxin. Realizing his mistake, he apologizes and returns. At the same time, Jiaxin is feeling unwell and tells Si Chi that she may have drunk spoiled milk. Despite not feeling her best, she continues working and tries to catch up on her tasks. Soon, a coworker scolds Jiaxin for taking a late lunch break, and her supervisor Fang joins in, criticizing her for recently taking time off and warning that future leave requests will not be approved. The situation becomes even worse when Gucci suddenly appears and starts insulting Jiaxin in front of everyone. When Jiaxin finally defends herself, Gucci grabs her arm in anger. Before things can escalate, Shi steps in and forcefully pulls Gucci away. He warns him to stay away from Jiaxin and demands that he apologize immediately. Shocked by Shi's authority, Gucci has no choice but to say sorry before leaving in embarrassment. The entire office watches the scene in surprise. Even after Gucci leaves, Fang blames Jia Xin for causing trouble. This time, however, Shiyi refuses to stay silent. He points out that Jia Xin had valid reasons for needing time off and questions why she is always treated unfairly. He criticizes the workplace for constantly targeting her while ignoring the behavior of others, and even suggests that the company may have a bullying culture. Hearing his sharp words and realizing she may have gone too far, Fang quickly apologizes. After defending Jia Xin at her workplace, Shiyi orders Fang to approve her leave request immediately. Fang quickly agrees, and Shiyi later hands Jia Xin's tickets for their trip to the Bahamas. Grateful for his help, she sincerely thanks him. Meanwhile, Dylan accompanies Shiyi's grandmother to an art exhibition. While looking at a painting, Dylan explains how its simple colors and peaceful scenery make it feel special and inspiring. Amused by his passionate description, Grandma teases him but listens carefully. When she notices that the painting has already been purchased, she smiles knowingly and walks away, leaving Dylan curious. Later, Jia Xin visits the same exhibition and is immediately drawn to that very painting. Disappointed to learn it has already been sold, she walks away feeling unwell. In her hurry, she accidentally drops her diary. Dylan finds it and, at Grandma's suggestion, decides to return both the diary and the painting to her. At the same time, Jia Xin stops by a pharmacy to buy a pregnancy test because of her recent symptoms. Before she can finish, Dylan contacts her and arranges to meet. When they meet, he returns her diary and surprises her with the painting she admired. Jia Xin is deeply touched and happily thanks him. As they talk, Jia Xin shares why the painting means so much to her. She explains that it reminds her to stay strong and independent. She even recalls how, as a child, she dreamed of owning a small grocery store, while her classmates talked about becoming doctors or scientists. Her unusual dream made everyone laugh, but it was something she genuinely wanted. Dylan finds her honesty charming and laughs along with her. When Jia Xin asks how much she owes him for the painting, Dylan refuses payment and jokingly asks for a treat instead. Though she initially tries to leave because she has other things to do, Dylan convinces her that a good dessert can brighten anyone's day. Amused by his persistence, Jia Xin agrees, and the two head to a cafe together, where they introduce themselves and begin getting to know each other better. Excusing herself from the table, Jia Xin heads to the restroom and finally uses the pregnancy tests she had purchased. Meanwhile, Shiyi discusses the marriage situation with his assistant, Anson. After hearing everything, Anson is stunned and asks if Shiyi has lost his mind. Shiyi explains that he has already sought legal advice and was told that ending the marriage in the Bahamas should be simple since there are no children involved. Anson suddenly becomes nervous and confesses a secret. He reveals that because the chairwoman desperately wanted a grandchild, he secretly damaged the protection that Shiyi had planned to use during the cruise. Although he insists his intentions were good, his confession leaves Shiyi completely shocked. At the same time, Jia Xin checks the results of the pregnancy tests and is stunned to discover that all three are positive. Overwhelmed by the news, she rushes out of the restroom, feeling dizzy and anxious. Nearby, a live-streaming influencer notices her condition and wrongly assumes she has food poisoning from the restaurant. As an argument breaks out between the influencer and the restaurant manager, Jia Xin gets caught in the middle. During the commotion, the pregnancy tests accidentally fall out of Jia Xin's bag. One is picked up by Dylan, while another is noticed by the influencer, who loudly announces that Jia Xin is pregnant. Embarrassed and distressed, Jia Xin quickly leaves the scene with Dylan. Outside, Jia Xin finally opens up about her situation. She admits that the baby's father has no idea about the pregnancy, and that they were already planning to get divorced. She explains that everything happened because of the unexpected events on the cruise ship. Listening carefully, Dylan guesses that the father is a wealthy businessman, surprising Jia Xin with how accurately he figured it out. Jia Xin sadly insists that she is not good enough to be with someone like Shiyi. Dylan immediately disagrees and encourages her to stop putting herself down. Wanting to cheer her up, he gives her his treasured lucky chip and tells her it has always brought him hope. He promises that by the time they meet again, her situation may have changed for the better. Touched by his kindness, Jia Xin accepts the gift and quietly leaves. In the next scene, Shiyi's grandmother happily looks through photos on her phone and dreams about the day she will finally have a great-grandchild. While browsing, she comes across a funny picture of Jia Xin taken the previous night. Recognizing her as the girl from the art exhibition, Grandma becomes curious and immediately sends the photo to Dylan. After seeing the picture, Dylan sends a voice message back, revealing that Jia Xin is the same woman his cousin Shi accidentally married in the Bahamas and is now planning to divorce. Shocked by this news, Grandma quickly contacts one of her staff members. She soon learns that Shi has already booked a flight to the Bahamas for that very night. Meanwhile, Shi and Jia Xin arrive at the airport, ready to travel and settle their divorce. However, just before boarding, Shi receives an urgent call from his assistant Anson. He explains that a major problem has occurred on Huaniao Island. Important company funds have not been transferred, employees have not been paid, and tensions are rising. Since the situation is becoming serious, the chairwoman wants Shi to handle it personally. Realizing the matter cannot be ignored, Shi decides to postpone the Bahamas trip. He apologizes to Jia Xin and explains that the divorce will have to wait until the crisis is resolved. Although surprised, Jia Xin secretly feels a little relieved that their plans have been delayed. Soon after, Jia Xin receives a call from her mother. Upset that Jia Xin had been avoiding her calls, her mother orders her to return home immediately by boat. After hanging up, Jia Xin becomes nervous and worries that her mother may have already discovered her pregnancy. As the two go their separate ways, Shi heads to Huaniao Island with Anson to deal with the company's growing problems, while Jia Xin prepares to face whatever awaits her at home. When Shi and Anson arrive on Huaniao Island, the locals are waiting with a welcome banner for Shi. Anson volunteers to handle the crowd, but before he can explain anything, the villagers mistakenly assume he is Shi. They place a flower garland around his neck and proudly escort him away, despite his attempts to correct them. Meanwhile, Jia Xin returns home and is immediately confronted by her mother. Hidden nearby, Shi notices her and quietly follows. At home, Jia Xin's mother angrily scolds her, believing she has gotten herself into trouble after moving to the city. Accepting the blame, Jia Xin apologizes and says she is willing to accept any punishment. However, her cousin believes the issue is only related to debt and encourages her to explain the truth. When Jia Xin learns that her mother is upset about money she borrowed, she feels relieved and promises to be more responsible with her spending in the future. That relief is short-lived. A young man named Tian's suddenly arrives with shocking news. He reveals that a photo connected to Jia Xin's pregnancy has spread online, and many people already know about it. His words leave everyone stunned, including Shi, who overhears the conversation from outside. Realizing the truth, Jia Xin's mother asks if she is really pregnant. With tears in her eyes, Jia Xin apologizes and admits it. Overcome with anger and disappointment, her mother lashes out, unable to understand how her daughter ended up in such a situation. Jia Xin quietly accepts the criticism, blaming herself for everything. As emotions run high, Jia Xin's cousin tries to calm everyone down and asks who the baby's father is. However, Jia Xin refuses to reveal his identity. She insists that he is not responsible and does not want his life to be ruined because of her situation. Determined to carry the burden alone, she tells her family that she can handle everything herself. Hearing this, her mother becomes even more frustrated, unable to understand why Jia Xin continues to protect someone while sacrificing her own happiness. Jia Xin's mother becomes furious when she sees her daughter still protecting the baby's father, instead of standing up for herself. Demanding to know who the man is, she raises her broom again. Before she can strike, Shi steps forward and admits that he is the father of the child. Shocked, Jia Xin tries to send him away, but Shi refuses, saying he cannot leave her alone during such a difficult time. Jia Xin's mother immediately confronts him and asks how he plans to take responsibility for both Jia Xin and the baby. After a moment of silence, Shi honestly admits that he does not yet have an answer. Frustrated by his response, Jia Xin's mother scolds him even more harshly. Meanwhile, Dylan discusses the situation with Shi's grandmother. He argues that raising a child should not be the mother's burden alone and that Shi should share the responsibility. Grandma agrees that Shi deserves punishment for his mistakes and reveals that she deliberately prevented the divorce papers from being processed. It becomes clear that she had arranged for Shi to go to the island, hoping to stop the divorce and bring the two closer together. Back at Jia Xin's house, her mother ties Shi to a chair and orders Jia Xin's cousin to investigate him. They take his phone and try to unlock it, but Shiyi stubbornly keeps his eyes closed to prevent the facial recognition system from working. After some playful efforts, they finally unlock the phone and gain access. Jiaxin's mother then calls Shiyi's grandmother. Despite Shiyi's attempts to stop her, she reaches Grandma and demands an explanation for what happened to her daughter. To her surprise, Grandma responds calmly and respectfully. She accepts responsibility for the situation and promises to visit the island the next morning so both families can discuss everything face to face. After ending the call, Grandma happily remarks that Jiaxin may become her future granddaughter-in-law. At the same time, she suddenly realizes that if Shiyi is stuck on the island, no one is managing the factory. Elsewhere, the villagers continue questioning Anson, who has been mistaken for Shiyi. Just then, everyone's phones receive a payment notification, proving that their wages have finally arrived. Relieved, the crowd immediately calms down. After the workers finally receive their delayed wages, Anson gets a call from the chairwoman. She reveals that she personally sent the money and informs him that she will be visiting the island the next day. Surprised, Anson wonders what new plans she has in mind. That night, Jishin's mother locks Shiyi inside the family store. Later, Jishin quietly comes to check on him. She brings him a blanket, unties him, and even gives him some zongzi to eat. While she cleans the store, Shiyi looks around and discovers one of her old diaries. Curious, he starts reading it. The diary reveals Jiaxin's childhood thoughts and dreams. She had written about always doing extra chores, receiving praise for her drawings, and hoping that one day someone would love her as deeply as her father loved her mother. Reading this, Shiyi teasingly remarks that she has been overly innocent since she was young. Embarrassed, Jiaxin quickly tries to take the diary back, insisting that it is private. Instead of returning it immediately, Shiyi encourages her to stop limiting herself. He tells her to forget the word impossible, dream bigger, and have the courage to chase what she truly wants. Jiaxin claims she has no special dreams, but Shiyi points out that she still longs for a sincere love story and a heartfelt proposal by the sea. His words leave her thoughtful. Feeling guilty, Jiaxin apologizes once again for the situation between them and for disrupting the life he had planned with Anna. Shiyi gently points out that she apologizes even when things are not her fault, and that she is far too hard on herself. Their conversation is interrupted when Shiyi suddenly spots a cockroach. To Jiaxin's amusement, he becomes terrified and begs her to get rid of it. Laughing, she calmly catches the insect and throws it outside. Still worried the cockroach might return, Shiyi remains uneasy. Jiaxin reassures him that she will stay nearby until he falls asleep. She covers him with a blanket, sits quietly on a chair, and begins writing a note as the peaceful night passes. The following morning, a large number of deliveries arrive outside Jiaxin's house, hinting that even more surprises are about to unfold. As Jiaxin's mother stepped outside, a delivery man handed her several packages. Confused, she insisted she hadn't ordered anything. Before he could explain, Grandma arrived and revealed that the items were hers. She then showed Mrs. Chen a marriage certificate and proudly announced that Jiaxin was her daughter-in-law. She declared that Jiaxin's future child would inherit the Chengjiai group and that she planned to hold another wedding ceremony so everyone would recognize their marriage. Meanwhile, Shiyi woke up and found a note from Jiaxin. In it, she explained that without a complete family, she feared their child would grow up feeling unwanted and become a burden in both his and Anna's lives. Believing abortion was the only option, she said she was heading to the hospital. Shocked, Shiyi immediately rushed out, and the rest of the family followed after learning where Jiaxin had gone. At the hospital, Jiaxin was having an ultrasound when Shiyi arrived. As they watched the screen, the doctor pointed out the tiny baby and let them hear its healthy heartbeat. Moved by the moment, Jiaxin asked whether the baby would feel pain during an abortion. The doctor warned her about the risks, and Jiaxin sadly explained that the baby's father didn't want the child and that they were divorcing. At that moment, Shiyi stepped forward and admitted he was the father. Looking at Jiaxin, he sincerely said that he wanted their baby. His words instantly filled her with happiness and relief. Outside, the family gathered around the ultrasound report. Jiaxin's mother and grandma excitedly admired the tiny baby, even though it was still no bigger than a grain. Grandma happily gave the baby a nickname and announced that Jiaxin would one day lead the Chung group. Later, everyone traveled to the island for Jiaxin and Shiyi's wedding celebration. where Grandma warmly welcomed the guests and encouraged Shi Yi to smile for the occasion. At the wedding celebration, Grandma noticed Shi Yi looked serious and pulled him aside. She reminded him that he was now married and had accepted the baby as his own, telling him how handsome he looked. Soon, Yuxin called Jia Xin and Shi Yi onto the stage and asked Jia Xin to share how they met. Feeling shy and unsure, Jia Xin simply introduced herself, making everyone laugh. When the guests continued asking questions, Shi Yi stepped in and explained that they met like any ordinary couple, except their relationship moved much faster than expected. As they tried to leave the stage, the guests stopped them and demanded a kiss. Shi Yi first kissed Jia Xin on the forehead, but everyone insisted on a real kiss. After quietly telling Jia Xin not to take it too seriously, he kissed her on the lips, earning loud cheers from the crowd. The celebration continued with everyone happily enjoying the feast together. Later, as they prepared to return, Grandma thanked Jia Xin's family for everything and promised to take good care of her. She then announced that Jia Xin would move to Shanghai and live with Shi Yi as his wife. Although Shi Yi felt it might be inconvenient, Grandma firmly insisted it was the right thing to do. She warmly spoke with Jia Xin's mother, saying they were family now. When the boat arrived, Jia Xin's mother gave her a heartfelt farewell. She reminded her daughter to call if anyone treated her badly and promised to stand up for her. Fighting back tears, Jia Xin hugged her mother tightly before saying goodbye and leaving with Shi Yi and Grandma. Meanwhile, Shi Yi received a call from Mr. Shen, who informed him that the agreement had been prepared exactly as requested and would be delivered through Jia Shen. She agreed, but warned him to keep the matter completely secret. Moments later, Jia Xin arrived, unaware of the conversation that had just taken place. Mr. Shen handed Jia Xin a document and asked her to deliver it to Shi Yi. Later, while shopping with Shi Yi, Jia Xin unexpectedly met Dylan. She greeted him warmly, and he noticed the file she was carrying. When she said it was important, Dylan wished her well and expressed relief that the baby's father had taken responsibility. Surprised by his comment, Jia Xin wondered how he knew. But Dylan simply pointed at her wedding ring and joked that his lucky charm must have worked. After thanking him and returning the charm, Jia Xin introduced Dylan to Shi Yi when he arrived. Although Shi Yi politely shook Dylan's hand, he seemed slightly uncomfortable. Before leaving, Dylan reminded Jia Xin that she could contact him anytime if she needed help. Soon after, Shi Yi brought Jia Xin to his family home. There, she met his lively aunt Xu Ling, who warmly welcomed her and praised her dancing career. Shi Yi jokingly teased his aunt about her troublesome past, leaving her embarrassed. Grandma then asked Shi Yi to take Jia Xin's luggage upstairs while she gave her a tour of the house. That night, Jia Xin entered the bedroom and noticed there was only one bed. As she wondered where she would sleep, she saw a photo of Anna. Looking at the picture, Jia Xin quietly promised that once the baby was born, she would leave and never interfere in Anna's place in Shi Yi's life. Unaware that Shi Yi had entered the room, she admitted that he truly cared about Anna. Shi Yi then offered to sleep on the sofa and handed Jia Xin a glass of warm milk from Grandma. However, he soon brought up a serious matter and revealed the document Mr. Shen had prepared. It was a divorce agreement. He honestly explained that their marriage was temporary and that she could never be part of his future. Though his words hurt, Jia Xin listened quietly. Shi Yi assured her that he wasn't trying to deceive her. The agreement included financial support, a house, and everything she might need after their separation. Jia Xin refused the compensation, but Shi Yi insisted that she needed protection and security for the future. He gave her 3 days to think about the terms and even offered to add any reasonable requests she had. Although Jia Xin nodded, she felt deeply saddened by the reality of their arrangement. The next morning, Shi Yi woke up in surprise when he found Jia Xin standing right in front of him, cheerfully wishing him good morning. The next morning, Jia Xin handed Shi Yi the signed agreement along with his ring. Before leaving, she assured him that Grandma would never learn about their arrangement. Although Shi Yi tried to stop her, Jia Xin quietly walked away. At work, Jia Xin immediately noticed that everyone was treating her differently. Tasks that were once given to her were now being handled by others. Even when she offered to help her co-workers, they politely refused. Confused by the sudden change, she returned to her desk only to find someone else sitting there. Soon, Mr. Shen called Jia Xin into his office and surprised her by promoting her to his special assistant. Jia Xin suspected the opportunity was connected to Shi Yi, but Mr. Shen encouraged her not to overthink it. He explained that her new responsibilities would include attending art exhibitions, business events, and social gatherings on behalf of the company. He also assured her that all expenses, including a new wardrobe and hairstyle, would be covered. Excited by the chance to grow and prove herself, Jia-shin happily accepted the position. Later that evening, Jia-shin attended her first concert assignment. To her surprise, she ran into Dylan there. She admitted that she knew very little about music and worried she might not understand the event. Dylan reassured her, saying that learning new things would help her in the future, which made her feel more confident. Not long after, Shi arrived and noticed Jia-shin talking with Dylan. Seeing them together immediately stirred feelings of jealousy. He deliberately sat beside Jia-shin and made several sarcastic comments aimed at Dylan. Unwilling to argue, Dylan simply advised Jia-shin not to pay attention to people who enjoyed showing off their power. As the concert began and soft piano music filled the hall, Jia-shin gradually became sleepy. Without realizing it, she leaned her head onto Shi's shoulder and fell asleep. Shi couldn't hide his happiness as he quietly let her rest beside him, enjoying the peaceful moment. Seeing Jia-shin spending time with Dylan, Shi became jealous once again. After the concert ended, Dylan and Jia-shin stood outside chatting, when Shi approached and asked why she hadn't gone home yet. He offered to drive her back himself, but before Jia-shin could respond, Dylan stepped in and reminded her that she and Shi were supposed to act like strangers in public. His comment immediately annoyed Shi, and tension rose between the two men. At that moment, Assistant Anson pulled Shi aside and reminded him that he still had an important business dinner to attend. While they were talking, Shi received a text from Jia-shin. In the message, she reminded him that he was the one who insisted they pretend not to know each other outside the house, and assured him that Dylan would take her home safely. Although Shi claimed he wasn't worried about her, he left feeling irritated. Later that evening, Jia-shin was preparing dinner at home when Shi's cousin Jiang Ren arrived. Drawn in by the delicious smell, he happily joined her for a meal and couldn't stop praising her cooking. However, the moment Shi walked in, Jiang Ren quickly handed back his bowl and joked that he was already full before making a quick escape. Jia-shin then served Shi some soup and explained that she hadn't expected him home for dinner, so she had simply reheated leftovers from earlier. As they sat together, Shi brought up what had happened after the concert and seemed ready to question her about Dylan. Before the conversation could continue, Jia-shin suddenly looked uncomfortable. The strong scent of Shi's perfume was making her feel nauseous, leaving him concerned about what was wrong. Shi warned Jia-shin not to use their secret marriage as an excuse to get close to other men. He made it clear that even if they had to hide their relationship in public, she was still his wife and should stay away from Dylan. Jia-shin tried to listen, but her pregnancy sickness suddenly became worse, forcing her to leave. Later, Shi followed her and continued lecturing her, but Jia-shin was too uncomfortable to argue. She covered herself with a blanket and apologized, explaining that she wasn't ignoring him on purpose. At that moment, Shi received a call from Anna. During their conversation, Anna teased him after hearing some rumors and jokingly suggested they get married sooner than planned. Instead of reacting with excitement, Shi seemed caught off guard, which made Anna feel that something had changed. He quickly brushed it off, claiming he was simply surprised. Anna eventually admitted she was only joking and ended the call after telling him she missed him. The next day, Jia-shin attended an art gallery event where she unexpectedly met Dylan again. While there, the strong scent of air freshener made her feel nauseous. Concerned for her health, Dylan immediately took her to the hospital. The doctor explained that her morning sickness was a normal part of early pregnancy and offered advice on managing it. As they discussed the baby's health, Dylan shared what he knew about early pregnancy. The doctor mistakenly assumed he was Jia-shin's husband and praised him for being so caring. Both Jia-shin and Dylan quickly corrected the misunderstanding, explaining that they were only friends. Jia-shin added that the baby's father was extremely busy but still cared deeply about their child. However, the doctor remained critical, believing a husband should always prioritize his wife and unborn baby. Jia-shin tried to defend Shi, but the doctor continued to misunderstand the situation. Realizing the conversation was going nowhere, Dylan politely thanked the doctor and led Jia-shin out of the hospital. Afterwards, the two went to a nearby restaurant, where they continued talking and spending time together. At the restaurant, Dylan gave Jiaxin a mask to help block strong smells that were making her uncomfortable during pregnancy. When she thanked him, Dylan jokingly put on a mask himself, saying that people kept mistaking them for a couple. His playful comment made Jiaxin laugh, and the two continued chatting happily. Unfortunately, Shi Yi's aunt, Shu Ling, happened to see them together and secretly took a photo. Later, Shu Ling rushed to Grandma and showed her the picture, trying to convince her that Jiaxin was being unfaithful. However, Grandma was more concerned about another issue. She revealed that Jiaxin had become sick because of a shampoo product linked to a company contract handled by Jiang Ren. After testing the product and discovering harmful chemicals, Grandma immediately canceled the partnership, fearing it could damage both the family's reputation and Jiaxin's health. Feeling wrongly accused and unappreciated, Shu Ling became emotional and argued with Grandma. The heated argument put too much stress on Grandma, causing her to collapse. She was quickly taken to the hospital, where Jiaxin and Shu Ling waited anxiously. When Shi Yi arrived, Shu Ling showed him the photo of Jiaxin and Dylan. Jiaxin tried to explain that Dylan had only helped her get medical treatment when she felt unwell. Upset by the situation, Shi Yi walked away and Jiaxin followed him. He complained that none of this would have happened if she had gone to the hospital with him instead. Jiaxin reminded him that Dylan was also a trusted friend of the family. Frustrated and jealous, Shi Yi almost admitted how important he was to her before stopping himself when people nearby started watching. Their conversation ended with both of them hurt and angry. The next morning, Shi Yi discovered that Jiaxin had already left. As he got ready for the day, he found sticky notes she had left throughout the house. Some reminded him to take care of himself, while others pointed out where his clothes were or encouraged him to eat breakfast before drinking coffee. Although he acted annoyed and tore the notes down, Jiaxin's thoughtful presence seemed impossible for him to ignore. Meanwhile, Jiaxin moved out to stay elsewhere. That evening, the landlord unexpectedly brought Anson to Shi Yi's place as a new tenant. Shi Yi immediately objected, but the landlord assured him there would be no problem. The situation quickly turned awkward and funny as both men argued over which room belonged to whom. In the end, Anson confidently claimed a room for himself, leaving Shi Yi frustrated and completely out of options. Later, as Jiaxin and Shi Yi were leaving, Shi Yi complained about Dylan, jokingly mocking him while clearly showing his jealousy. Jiaxin brushed it off, but then Dylan arrived and told her he had found a new place for her to stay. He handed back the lucky chip and said it had never brought him much luck, but hoped it would protect her in the future. Jiaxin smiled and was about to leave with Dylan when Shi Yi suddenly stepped in. Firmly stopping her, he declared that she would be going home with him instead. Jiaxin reminded him that she had already left plenty of sticky notes explaining her decision, but Shi Yi argued that she had made the choice without discussing it with him first. Their conversation quickly turned into an argument about the misunderstandings that had built up between them. Jiaxin pointed out that she had only followed his instructions and tried to stay out of trouble, while Shi Yi questioned why Dylan had accompanied her to the hospital. She explained that she had become sick unexpectedly and happened to run into Dylan at the art gallery event she attended for work. Dylan stepped in and defended Jiaxin, insisting that none of what happened was her fault. He reminded Shi Yi that she was pregnant and deserved understanding rather than criticism. The exchange soon became a battle of words, with both men taking subtle shots at each other. Finally, Shi Yi admitted that he never blamed Jiaxin for Grandma's collapse. Hearing this, Jiaxin brightened and asked if he trusted her. Shi Yi replied that he trusted Grandma's judgment and believed that anyone Grandma cared for couldn't be a bad person. Though his answer sounded awkward, it reassured Jiaxin that he was on her side. Dylan jokingly questioned whether Shi Yi had just praised or insulted her, but Shi Yi ignored the comment. He then firmly stated that Jiaxin was his wife. After declaring that Jiaxin was his wife, Shi Yi took her hand and led her to the car. Meanwhile, Anson later complained to Shi Yi about his difficult living situation. He grumbled that the woman he was staying with sang loudly day and night, even using a hairdryer as a microphone. Although Shi Yi found it amusing, Anson begged to move back home. However, Shi Yi refused and jokingly told him he could only leave if he resigned from his job. That night, Jiaxin found Shi Yi sitting in the kitchen. Teasing her, he called her a walking sticky note because of all the notes she left around the house. Jiaxin nervously explained that sticky notes were her way of communicating and staying organized. During their conversation, she noticed that Shi Yi had stopped wearing his usual perfume. When he asked why, she admitted that the scent made her pregnancy sickness worse. She also mentioned that her doctor had advised pregnant women to stay around pleasant smells. As they talked about her doctor, Jiaxin reluctantly revealed that he had criticized Shi Yi for never attending pregnancy checkups or parenting classes. The doctor even said that if he stayed absent, he wouldn't become a good father. Although embarrassed by the comment, Shi Yi quietly took the words to heart. The following morning, Jiaxin arrived at the hospital for a pregnancy class and was surprised to see Shi Yi waiting for her. He explained that he had called the hospital to learn about the schedule and decided to come along. During the class, Jiaxin couldn't stop noticing how attentive he was. As she watched him, she wondered why her heart raced whenever he was near, even though their marriage had started as nothing more than an accident. After the session, Dr. Hao greeted the couples. This time, Shi Yi confidently introduced himself as Jiaxin's husband and apologized for missing the earlier appointments. He admitted that work had kept him busy, but he had realized that nothing was more important than being involved in his child's growth. He promised to take his responsibilities seriously from now on and asked the doctor to inform him of anything related to the baby. Seeing this change, Dr. Hao finally nodded in approval, pleased that Shi Yi was beginning to act like a devoted father. After the pregnancy class, Dr. Hao reminded Shi Yi that Jiaxin's condition was delicate and that she needed extra care. Trying to show concern, Shi Yi mentioned her recent sickness and suggested eating lighter food. Soon afterward, Jiaxin prepared to head home while Shi Yi planned to return to work. However, Jiaxin suddenly remembered she had forgotten to ask the doctor an important question and went back. When she arrived, she noticed Shi Yi speaking privately with Dr. Hao and quietly listened from outside. Shi Yi was offering the doctor an endorsement deal for his company's products and presented a contract, hoping to gain his support. Dr. Hao immediately saw through his intentions. He accused Shi Yi of attending the pregnancy class only to impress him and pointed out that he still knew very little about caring for a pregnant wife. The doctor criticized him for suggesting unsuitable food and declared that he would never endorse products for someone he believed was selfish and irresponsible. Although Shi Yi admitted that business was one reason he attended the class, he insisted the doctor didn't understand the complicated situation between him and Jiaxin. Hidden nearby, Jiaxin overheard everything and became deeply emotional. Dr. Hao then gave Shi Yi a harsh lecture, saying that Jiaxin had trusted him with both her future and their baby's future. He warned that Shi Yi was failing as both a husband and a father by not honoring that trust. As the doctor walked away, Shi Yi turned and was shocked to find Jiaxin standing there. Hurt by what she had heard, Jiaxin told him she didn't need his sympathy, but begged him not to use her or their baby for his own purposes. Fighting back tears, she left before he could explain. Later, Jiang Ren proudly told his mother that he was heading to an important ribbon-cutting ceremony and planned to humiliate Jiaxin in front of everyone. He bragged that many workers still supported him, despite Grandma canceling the partnership with Hai Fei Group. Unbeknownst to him, Shi Yi overheard the entire conversation and quietly began putting the pieces together. The story briefly flashes back to a conversation where Jiaxin's mother reminded Shi Yi that although he may not truly love her daughter, Jiaxin was the most precious person in her life. She asked him to remember that now that they were married, he had a responsibility to care for her. Back in the present, Jiang Ren was startled when Shi Yi overheard his plans. Shi Yi calmly reminded him to visit Grandma in the hospital like a dutiful son before walking away. Soon after, Shi Yi went to see Jiaxin at the hospital. Confused, she asked why he wasn't attending the ribbon-cutting ceremony. Shi Yi replied that another important person still hadn't arrived, and then surprised her by asking her to accompany him to Huanyao Island. Jiaxin refused, insisting that Grandma needed her care and that she had no reason to attend the event. However, Shi Yi argued that she needed to be stronger, not only for herself but also for their baby. When she continued resisting, he used a bold threat, claiming he would move forward with plans that could cost many factory workers their jobs if she didn't come with him. Realizing he wasn't backing down, Jiaxin reluctantly agreed. Upon arriving at Huanyao Island, Shi Yi publicly held Jiaxin's hand and brought her toward the stage, shocking both the crowd and her mother. Jiaxin wanted to leave immediately, but Shi Yi stopped her. He explained that rumors were spreading about her and that running away would only make things worse. He encouraged her to stand up for herself and clear her name instead of hiding from the accusations. Shi Yi reminded Jia Xin that he trusted her innocence and questioned why she didn't have the same faith in herself. He pointed out that her silence could affect not only her reputation, but also many people around her. As Jia Xin struggled to respond, Shi Yi firmly reminded her of one important fact. He was not only the general manager of Chengzhai but also her husband. If people attacked her reputation, they were attacking his as well. His words left Jia Xin deeply moved as she began to realize that he was finally standing by her side. Encouraged by Shi Yi's support, Jia Xin agreed to be strong and stepped onto the stage with him. As rumors continued to spread among the crowd, Shi Yi reassured her that she could handle the situation. Gathering her courage, Jia Xin publicly declared that she loved Grandma deeply and would never do anything to hurt her. She firmly denied all the accusations, insisting that the rumors were completely false. While the crowd reacted to her words, Shi Yi reminded everyone that he had always worked to protect their jobs and the company's future. At that moment, Zhang Ren and Haifei manager Mr. Zhou arrived. Mr. Zhou pressured Shi Yi to sign over the factory, but before anything could happen, Jia Xin suddenly felt sick. Instead of showing concern, Zhou rudely told her to move aside and focused on the ribbon-cutting ceremony. As he tried to push past her, Jia Xin accidentally knocked off his wig, shocking everyone. Though she immediately apologized, Mr. Zhou angrily humiliated her in front of the crowd. Shi Yi quickly stepped in, shielding Jia Xin and demanding that Mr. Zhou treat her with respect. He made it clear that insulting her was unacceptable and that an apology was owed. The confrontation escalated, and Mr. Zhou threatened to cancel their business deal. However, Shi Yi remained calm and refused to compromise his principles. He openly criticized Haifei's products and announced that all production at the island factory would be suspended. Holding Jia Xin's hand, he walked away from the event, choosing dignity over profit. Deeply touched by his actions, Jia Xin happily followed. After returning to Shanghai, Jia Xin went for another hospital checkup. There, she received a surprising call from Yu Xin, who revealed that she had left home and moved to Shanghai. Later, Shi Yi unexpectedly showed up after leaving an important meeting just to check on Jia Xin. Before they could talk much, Yu Xin arrived and invited them to go shopping together. While Yu Xin wandered into a store, Shi Yi and Jia Xin were left alone. Jia Xin worried that she was taking up too much of his time, but Shi Yi took the opportunity to apologize. He admitted that he had used both her and the pregnancy class to get closer to Dr. Hao, and acknowledged that his actions had been unfair. Jia Xin gently dismissed his guilt, reminding him that he had always helped and protected her, especially when she needed him most. Their conversation brought them a little closer, strengthening the bond that had slowly begun to grow between them. Shi Yi apologized for overreacting about Dr. Hao and admitted that worries about the future had clouded his judgment. Jia Xin then asked if he had skipped her hospital checkup to gain Dr. Hao's favor. Shi Yi explained that Dr. Hao was the only person who could help them with the inheritance issue. Before they could continue, Yu Xin arrived and asked for their help. After shopping together, the three entered an elevator, but it suddenly stopped working. While Shi Yi contacted security, Yu Xin began suffering severe pain. Realizing she was having contractions, Shi Yi quickly took charge. He made her comfortable, asked Jia Xin to check her condition, and informed security that a pregnant woman needed urgent assistance. When security connected them to Dr. Hao, Shi Yi put aside their differences and explained the situation. Following the doctor's instructions, they prepared emergency supplies and helped Yu Xin control her breathing while waiting for rescue. Shi Yi calmly encouraged her through every contraction, earning Dr. Hao's silent admiration. Soon the elevator shook and finally opened. Medical staff rushed Yu Xin away for treatment. Relieved, Jia Xin thanked Shi Yi for staying calm during the crisis. Shi Yi replied that Dr. Hao deserved the credit, then sincerely thanked Jia Xin as well. Witnessing Yu Xin's pain made him realize how difficult pregnancy and childbirth truly were, and he promised that when her time came, he would stay by her side. Moments later, they heard the newborn baby's cries. Filled with joy, Jia Xin handed the baby to Shi Yi. Holding the child, he quietly imagined what his own future baby might look like and hoped the child would inherit only the best qualities from both parents. In the next scene, Yongren met with worried clients as the stock market continued to fall. With Shi Yi canceling the deal with the Haifei Group, confidence in the company was weakening. One client openly questioned her leadership, and Zheng Ren admitted that their concerns were understandable. During the meeting, some clients suggested that Shi Yi should apologize to Zhou and sign the contract to save the company. However, Shi Yi firmly refused and revealed an important authorization report from the French government. He explained that the approval for the Heritage series had taken 3 years to obtain and was a major achievement. Despite this, Jungren pointed out that the Haifei Group deal had fallen through, the stock price was dropping, and the market remained unstable. Several clients questioned Shi Yi's leadership and even suggested replacing him as general manager. They argued that the company's reputation and profits were suffering because of his decisions. Just as the criticism grew stronger, Dr. Hao unexpectedly arrived. He announced that, as an advisor to the World Health Organization, he had agreed to represent the Heritage series at Shi Yi's invitation. Dr. Hao openly praised Shi Yi's intelligence and said he trusted both him and the product. His endorsement immediately changed the atmosphere, and the clients decided to give Shi Yi another chance. Even Jung Ren had no choice but to accept their decision. After the meeting, Dr. Hao met Jia Xin and revealed that he had only agreed to help because she had personally convinced him. When Shi Yi asked why he suddenly supported Heritage, Dr. Hao simply told him to ask Jia Xin before walking away. Later, Jia Xin attended a parenting class and was surprised to find Shi Yi already waiting for her. He handed her a textbook and promised that from now on, he would attend every class and medical checkup with her. When she asked why, Shi Yi admitted that since she had helped save Heritage by persuading Dr. Hao, he wanted to support her in return. Back at home, Shi Yi happily shared the news with Grandma that Heritage had become a success and gained even more recognition thanks to Dr. Hao's support. Overjoyed, Jia Xin immediately hugged him. When Shi Yi looked confused, she explained that her mother always said people should hug during moments of great happiness or sadness. Smiling, Shi Yi hugged her back while Grandma watched warmly. It was then revealed that Grandma's condition was much better, making the happy moment even more special. It was soon revealed that Grandma had only been pretending to be in a coma. Later, Zhou confronted Shi Yi and claimed that he must have ignored the contract details. Shi Yi confidently replied that he remembered every clause. Zhou then reminded him that anyone who cancelled the deal would have to pay double compensation and showed a video proving that Shi Yi had cancelled the agreement. Just then, Grandma arrived, surprising Shi Yi. Zhou tried to use the evidence against him, but Grandma called in Mr. Zhang, the Chengji Group's lawyer. He revealed that a special clause had been added to the contract, giving Chengji Group the right to cancel the agreement without paying any penalty if Haifei Group's actions harmed the partnership. Since both companies had officially approved the contract, the clause was legally valid. Zhou was furious after learning this, while Jung Ren felt embarrassed. Grandma then scolded Zhou, pointing out that although Shi Yi often acted too quickly, Zhou had no excuse for missing such an important clause. Defeated, Zhou left the meeting in frustration. Shi Yi then admitted his mistake as general manager and accepted responsibility. Grandma said she had considered punishing him or even removing him from his position, but instead decided to keep a closer watch on him. She announced that a special assistant would monitor his work and is involved in company affairs. To everyone's surprise, Grandma chose Jia Xin for the role. She explained that Jia Xin's reaction to the product's smell had given her the idea of testing products from a customer's perspective. Although the family was shocked, Grandma believed Jia Xin deserved a chance. When she asked Shi Yi for his opinion, he could only agree, still stunned by the unexpected decision. Later, Grandma pulled Shi Yi aside and warned him that she knew everything about his relationship with Jia Xin. She revealed that she had already instructed Lawyer Xin to revise her will. If Shi Yi ever betrayed Jia Xin, all of her inheritance would go directly to Jia Xin after her death. The warning left Shi Yi completely stunned, and he could only nod in agreement. That night, Jia Xin had fallen asleep on the sofa when Grandma suddenly knocked on the door. Panicking, Shi Yi quickly carried Jia Xin to the bed. When she woke up in confusion, he explained that Grandma was coming in. Grandma then quietly reminded Shi Yi that since Jia Xin would start working at the company the next day, he should take good care of her and make sure she ate healthy meals. After Grandma left, Shi Yi insisted that Jia Xin sleep comfortably on the bed because of her pregnancy, while he chose to sleep on the sofa himself. Jiaxin couldn't help smiling at his thoughtfulness. The next morning, Shi Yi and Jiaxin headed to the company together. During the drive, Assistant Anson noticed that Jiaxin looked different without her glasses. Shi Yi immediately told him to focus on driving, but he secretly kept glancing at Jiaxin, making her feel confused. Later, Shi Yi teased her by saying they were going to a law firm to complete her employment transfer. Jiaxin quickly became nervous and started fixing her appearance, only for Shi Yi to laugh and admit that he was joking and simply needed some documents from lawyer Shin. When they arrived at the law firm, the staff naturally treated Jiaxin like an ordinary visitor. However, Shi Yi stopped them and reminded everyone that Jiaxin was now the chairwoman's special assistant. Realizing her new status, the employees immediately showed her more respect. Although Jiaxin felt uncomfortable with the attention, Shi Yi encouraged her to be confident. He reminded her that she represented Grandma and needed to trust herself before expecting others to trust her. When Jiaxin still looked uncertain, Shi Yi reassured her with a smile, saying that he would always support her. His words boosted her confidence, and the two shared a warm moment together. Afterward, Shi Yi brought Jiaxin to the company and officially introduced her to all the department managers. He even jokingly introduced Assistant Anson, making the atmosphere much more relaxed as Jiaxin began her first day in her new role. At the company, Shi Yi began training Jiaxin for her new role. He explained that because of the time difference with Europe and their heavy workload, she would often need to make decisions on her own. To help her learn, he even had her sit in his chair during an important meeting. However, Jiaxin struggled to stay awake, making everyone laugh. Although she insisted she wasn't sleepy, Shi Yi noticed her exhaustion and ended the session early. Soon, Jiaxin's stomach started rumbling, so Shi Yi took her out for lunch. He ordered fish, saying it was good for her and the baby, but Jiaxin kept eyeing his meat dish. Amused, Shi Yi shared some with her, and the two ended up feeding each other, creating a sweet and playful moment. Later, Assistant Anson brought her several files marked with colorful sticky notes. He revealed that Shi Yi had personally arranged them that way to make her work easier, leaving Jiaxin touched by his thoughtfulness. Later that day, Grandma invited them home for lunch and mentioned that a special guest would be joining them. To Shi Yi's surprise, the guest was Dylan. Grandma was delighted when Dylan presented a heritage product he had purchased in Europe. During lunch, Dylan chatted warmly with Jiaxin about her pregnancy, which quickly made Shi Yi jealous. His jealousy grew even stronger when Grandma announced that while Shi Yi was overseas, Dylan would help Jiaxin at both work and home. The next morning, Shi Yi woke up to a cheerful note from Jiaxin and smiled. But when he learned that she had already gone to the company with Dylan, his mood instantly changed. Even finding a lunchbox prepared for him couldn't ease his jealousy, especially when he noticed there were no extra notes inside. Meanwhile, Shi-Chi attended a class reunion where nearly everyone was married with children. Feeling left out, she listened as her classmates proudly talked about their families. Things became even worse when her ex-boyfriend bragged about becoming a father and mocked her for still being single. Frustrated, Shi-Chi lied and claimed she had a loving boyfriend. When everyone demanded to meet him, she stepped outside in panic, unsure what to do next. At the same time, Anson was at Shi-Chi's house when he accidentally knocked over and broke one of her treasured trophies. Afraid of her reaction, he tried fixing it and quickly called her with an excuse, claiming there was a plumbing problem and that she shouldn't come home that night. To his surprise, Shi-Chi told him to come help her instead, and to make sure he was dressed nicely. Shi-Chi sits with her classmates, and soon Anson joins her. She quietly tells him to keep smiling no matter what she says. Playing along, Anson puts his arm around her and warmly calls her darling, acting like a loving boyfriend. Suddenly, Shi-Chi's ex-boyfriend, Jia Ming, stands up and asks if Anson knows about their past relationship. Anson confidently mocks Jia Ming, saying he can't understand how someone like Shi-Chi ever fell for him. He even reveals how much effort Shi-Chi put into preparing for the reunion, making everyone laugh while leaving her embarrassed. Jia Ming refuses to stay quiet. He reminds everyone how Shi-Chi once begged him not to leave after their breakup, claiming that he moved on long ago while she remained stuck in the past. He accuses her of lying again by bringing a fake boyfriend to the reunion. Hurt by his cruel words, Shi-Chi breaks down in tears. Anson immediately defends her, introducing himself as the special assistant to the general manager of Chengjae Group and declaring that he truly loves Shi-Chi. When Jiaming still doubts their relationship, Anson suddenly kisses Shiqi, shocking everyone in the room, including Shiqi herself. Meanwhile, at the company, Jiaxin suddenly collapses. Dylan and Anson rush her to the hospital. At the same time, Shiyi is at the airport when Anna calls, excitedly talking about spending the next day together. After the call, Shiyi contacts Anson and asks him to cancel some of Jiaxin's meetings because of her poor health. Anson then informs him that Jiaxin has already fainted and is now in the hospital. Worried, Shiyi decides to return, but Anson insists that he continue with his overseas trip and leave the situation to him. However, when Shiyi hears hospital staff urgently asking for a family member, his concern grows even stronger. Later, Jiaxin wakes up in the hospital and finds her grandmother and aunt beside her. Although everyone is worried, Jiaxin insists on attending an important parenting class. Her grandmother eventually agrees but sends Dylan along with her. During the class, Dylan performs well, making the teacher assume he is the child's father. Before Jiaxin can fully explain, Shiyi unexpectedly arrives. He tells Dylan to leave and takes his place. When Jiaxin asks why he did not travel abroad, Shiyi casually says that he missed his flight. As Dylan leaves, he offers advice, which irritates Shiyi. Claiming his position as Jiaxin's husband, Shiyi tells Dylan to stop interfering before continuing the class with Jiaxin. Later, Jiaxin prepares a lunchbox for Shiyi before he heads to work, but he rejects it and leaves, disappointing her. That evening, the family gathers for dinner. When Shiyi arrives, everyone suddenly leaves the table, following Grandma's plan to teach him a lesson for his recent behavior. Feeling ignored, Shiyi complains, and Grandma coldly tells him to drink the soup left on the table. The next morning, realizing something is wrong, Shiyi approaches Jiaxin and reminds her that they are supposed to be a family. Shiyi insists that he does not love Jiaxin, but just then she steps out of the wardrobe, ready to go shopping with Grandma. He immediately decides to join her and even cancels his meetings for the day. On the way, he tells Jiaxin that he has been reading about pregnancy and thinks her recent behavior might be caused by hormonal changes. His comment only annoys her, and she tells him to stay away before she loses her temper. Moments later, her belt suddenly breaks, causing an awkward but funny situation. Shiyi teases her before helping her by giving her a dress to change into. While shopping, a photographer invites them to take a couple's photo, but both refuse. However, when another woman assumes they are not married, Shiyi unexpectedly changes his mind and agrees to the photo session. He pulls Jiaxin close and smiles for the camera. Later, Jiaxin complains that her feet hurt. Shiyi notices that her new shoes have caused a wound and insists on buying her a more comfortable pair. Touched by his concern, Jiaxin quietly enjoys the moment. As they leave the store, one of Anna's friends recognizes Shiyi and asks why he is not in Paris. Hearing this, Jiaxin misunderstands the situation and leaves, feeling hurt and disappointed. Shiyi tries to find her but fails, so he asks Anson for help. Meanwhile, Anna learns that Shiyi was happily shopping with another woman near a baby store, which leaves her upset as well. That evening, Jiaxin sits alone outside the company. Dylan finds her there, covers her with his coat, and shares a painful story about losing his younger sister and spending years searching for her. His emotional confession comforts Jiaxin, but before they can talk longer, Shiyi arrives. Seeing Dylan beside her makes him jealous. After thanking Dylan for helping her, Shiyi takes Jiaxin to dinner. During their meal, Shiyi questions why she ignored his calls. Jiaxin gives an excuse, but he knows she is hiding her true feelings. He then reassures her that they are family and promises that she will never have to face her problems alone. He tells her they will stay together and overcome every challenge as a team. His sincere words finally bring a smile back to Jiaxin's face. The next day, Jiaxin gives thoughtful gifts to Jung Ren and Aunt Xu Ling, making them very happy. The following morning, Shiyi comes down for breakfast and asks where Jiaxin is. Aunt Xu Ling explains that Jiaxin prepared breakfast for everyone early in the morning before leaving to visit her mother. During breakfast, Shiyi notices the special cups on the table and becomes curious about them. When he learns that Jiaxin had gifted cups to everyone except him, he feels disappointed. Thinking one of the cups belongs to him gives him hope. But that hope quickly fades when he finds out it is actually Jiaxin's. Feeling left out, he quietly prepares to leave, though Aunt Xu Ling kindly hands him a lunchbox before he goes. Meanwhile, Jiaxin visits her mother's house but finds it empty, so she goes to see Yusin, who is exhausted and emotional because her baby has been keeping her busy. At the same time, Jacin's mother arrives one's family home. Warmly welcomed by Aunt Shuling, she offers to cook for everyone. While preparing food, Shuling praises her cooking skills and is tempted by the delicious smell. Later, Shuling takes her to Jiaxin's room, where she accidentally reveals that Anna was once Shiyi's girlfriend. The revelation shocks Jiaxin's mother. As she looks around the room, she discovers Anna's belongings, photos of Anna and Shiyi together, and eventually the divorce papers. Heartbroken and angry, she tears up Anna's picture and breaks down in tears, feeling deeply sorry for her daughter. Determined to protect Jiaxin, she sends a heartfelt message to Shiyi. The message deeply affects Shiyi, and he immediately goes to Huanyao Island to find Jiaxin. He tells her that even if they are no longer a real couple, he still wants to be the first person she turns to whenever she is hurting. Then he shows her her mother's message, which asks him to take care of Jiaxin, understand her unspoken sadness, and comfort her whenever she feels alone. Jiaxin becomes emotional after reading it, and Shiyi gently pulls her close, making her feel supported and cared for. That evening, Jiaxin cooks dinner while Shiyi helps by carrying Yuxin's baby. When Jiaxin struggles with her hair while cooking, Shiyi quietly fixes it for her, making her smile. After dinner is ready, he serves the food and even feeds Jiaxin himself, reminding her not to focus only on taking care of others. His sweet gesture leaves her happy and touched. Later, the two accidentally fall asleep together on the sofa. When Yuxin and her husband Tian arrive, they are surprised by the cozy scene and secretly take a photo before covering them with a blanket and leaving. The next morning, Shiyi wakes up and finds Jiaxin sleeping beside him. He cannot stop looking at her and almost leans in for a kiss, but Yuxin suddenly interrupts the moment. Soon after, Shiyi and Jiaxin return to Shanghai. Aunt Shuling nervously tries to stop Shiyi from entering Jiaxin's room, but he goes in anyway. Inside, he discovers that Anna's photo has been replaced with a picture of a baby. Shuling explains that she did it for Jiaxin's sake, believing it would bring happiness and good fortune for the future child. Instead of getting upset, Shiyi appreciates her effort and agrees that she did the right thing. Shiyi's decision to keep the baby's picture in the room surprises Aunt Shuling and makes Jiaxin happy. Later, at a charity auction, Shiyi impatiently waits for Jiaxin. When she finally arrives with Dylan, a playful argument breaks out over who she came with. Dylan tries to claim her as his partner, but Shiyi firmly takes Jiaxin's hand and reminds everyone that she is attending as the owner of the Qingji group. With that, he confidently leads her away. On their way home, Shiyi opens up about how worried he has been for her. He reminds Jiaxin of everything she has endured alone, from her pregnancy to the pain she carried in silence. Overwhelmed by his kindness, Jiaxin tearfully admits that she is afraid of becoming too attached to him and never being able to let go. Shiyi gently hugs her and tells her not to worry about the future, because what matters is the present and seeing her happy. That night, Jiaxin quietly talks to the baby while looking at the sleeping Shiyi, praising his handsome features and hoping their child will resemble him. As she prepares to leave, Shiyi pulls her close, asks her to stay, and softly kisses her. Feeling loved and comforted, Jiaxin falls asleep beside him. The next day at work, Anson discovers a handmade cup and a note inside Shiyi's lunchbox. The note reveals that Jiaxin worked hard to create the cup, ruining several attempts before finally making one successfully. Touched by her effort, Shiyi treasures the gift. When Anson serves him tea in the cup, Shiyi happily drinks from it and jokes that he could drink endless tea as long as it is served in that mug. Wanting to prepare a special birthday gift for Jiaxin, Shiyi asks Anson to find out what she likes. However, his mood changes when Anna suddenly calls and announces that she will be returning to Shanghai in 3 days to celebrate his birthday. Shiyi agrees but quietly mentions that he needs to have an important conversation with her. Later, Shiyi and Jiaxin attend a parenting class. The instructor asks them to lie down while holding hands so the baby can feel both parents' presence. After the teacher leaves, Shiyi softly calls Jiaxin's name. When she responds, he pauses for a moment and simply says, "Nothing," enjoying the peaceful moment they are sharing together. While relaxing together after class, Shiyi casually asks Jiaxin about her upcoming birthday. Jiaxin is surprised that he remembers, and he proudly tells her that he never forgets important things, especially because they share the same birthday. Jiaxin admits that as a child, she always wished for someone who would remember her special day and celebrate it with her. Hearing this, Shiyi reassures her that she will never have to worry about that anymore. Curious, Jia-sin asks how he used to celebrate his birthdays. Shi-yi recalls spending them with Anna at an elegant restaurant where birthday guests could invite someone to perform on stage. He remembers a special birthday when Anna sang for him, making him truly happy. After her performance, she promised to grant any wish he had, and Shi-yi simply asked her to celebrate every birthday with him there. Thinking about the past, he quietly mentions that Anna will be returning soon. Before Jia-shin can respond, the class ends and the teacher dismisses everyone. As they leave, Shi-yi apologizes, explaining that he will not be able to spend his birthday with her because of other commitments. Although disappointed, Jishizines hides her feelings and tells him it is fine. Shi-yi offers to take her home, but she decides to go by herself, and they agree to talk later that evening. Back at the office, Shi-yi asks Anson to stay and help finish some work. To his surprise, Anson refuses, saying he already has plans to watch a movie with his girlfriend. Shocked that his assistant is dating someone without telling him, Shi-yi starts questioning him. Anson reveals that his girlfriend is Shi-chi, one of Jia-shin's roommates, and admits he kept it secret because he knew Shi-yi would find out. Not fully convinced, Shi-yi begins testing him with questions about Shi-chi's personal details. Without hesitation, Anson correctly answers her birthday, zodiac sign, blood type, favorite food, and even her favorite perfume. Seeing how much Anson knows, Shi-yi is finally convinced that the relationship is real. Smiling, Anson explains that when someone is truly in love, remembering every little detail comes naturally. Anson jokingly tells Shi-yi that love can make even complete opposites fall for each other, just like famous love stories. Shi-yi dismisses the idea, but when Anson tricks him into thinking Jia-shin has arrived, Shi-yi instantly turns around in excitement, making Anson laugh at his reaction. Later, Shi-yi asks Anson if he found out what Jia-shin wants for her birthday. When Anson admits he forgot, Shi-yi becomes frustrated. Feeling guilty that he will not be with Jia-shin on her special day, he insists on finding a way to make her happy. Anson warns him that Jia-shin might already be spending time with Dylan, and jokes that Dylan could be trying to win her heart. The thought immediately irritates Shi-yi. While unpacking Jia-shin's lunch, Anson discovers a carefully wrapped gift, making Shi-yi realize she had prepared something special for him. Not long after, Shi-yi confronts Dylan and warns him to stay away from Jia-shin. Dylan calmly reminds him that Jia-shin is close to divorcing him and questions whether Shi-yi still has any right to claim her. Shi-yi firmly states that she is still his wife and that he will not allow anyone to hurt her. However, Dylan points out that Jia-shin has devoted herself entirely to Shi-yi and his family while receiving little appreciation in return. The conversation grows more intense as Dylan accuses Shi-yi of abandoning Jia-shin on her birthday to spend time with Anna. He reveals that Jia-shin even used her own savings to buy Shi-yi a meaningful gift. Hearing this leaves Shi-yi stunned. Dylan criticizes him further, saying that he does not truly understand Jia-shin or know what she wants. Though Shi-yi argues back, Dylan's words strike a nerve and force him to think about how much he has overlooked. As Shi-yi prepares to leave, Dylan asks a final question. If Jia-shin means so little to him, then why is he so jealous? The remark leaves Shi-yi speechless. Meanwhile, Jia-shin talks with Shi-chi about her relationship with Anson. Shi-chi explains that their situation is unusual. Instead of dating because they are deeply in love, they are pretending to be a couple to avoid pressure from their families. Their plan is simple. If they eventually meet someone they truly love, they can end the arrangement and move on without any complications. Jia-shin teases Shi-chi, saying that she might eventually fall in love with Anson. Shi-chi immediately denies it and explains that liking someone and truly loving someone are completely different. According to her, real love makes your heart race, takes your breath away, and makes the whole world seem to stop for that one person. As Jia-shin listens, she can't help but think about all the special moments she has shared with Shi-yi. Shi-chi then compares those feelings to her relationship with Anson, saying they constantly argue and tease each other without any romantic emotions. Unknowingly, Anson overhears the conversation and jokingly comments that this explains her serious attitude. He then hands Jia-shin a gift, admitting that he accidentally opened it before delivering it. Hearing this makes Jia-shin a little disappointed. Just then, Dylan arrives with another gift for Jia-shin. When he notices a pen on the table, he realizes it is the same birthday gift she had prepared for Shi-yi. Jia-shin sadly admits that Shi-yi never even looked at it. Wanting to help, Dylan takes her to the elegant restaurant where Shi-yi is celebrating his birthday. At the restaurant, Jiaxin asks a waiter to secretly deliver the pen to Shi Yi as an anonymous surprise. After handing it over, Dylan encourages her to leave, but Jiaxin decides to stay and watch from a distance. When Shi Yi receives the gift, he assumes Anna sent it and happily begins using the pen. Seeing him enjoy her present fills Jiaxin with quiet happiness. A few moments later, the host announces that, just like every year, a special performance will be held for Shi Yi's birthday. The crowd learns that Anna has arranged a surprise and is expected to appear as the highlight of the evening. Excited, Shi Yi waits eagerly for her arrival. As the minutes pass, however, Anna still doesn't appear. Guests begin whispering among themselves, wondering if the performance will happen at all. Watching everything unfold from afar, Jiaxin grows worried. Despite her own feelings, she knows how much Anna's arrival means to Shi Yi, and fears he will be deeply disappointed if she never shows up. Unable to bear the thought of Shi Yi spending his birthday alone, Jiaxin decides to help. Moments later, a duck mascot suddenly appears on stage and performs a cheerful dance, making Shi Yi laugh and enjoy himself. After the show, the mascot returns backstage, where it is revealed to be Jiaxin in disguise. Soon Shi Yi finds her and assumes Anna sent her as a replacement. Believing she is only a messenger, he thanks her for saving him from an embarrassing and lonely birthday. He admits that her kindness reminds him of a certain girl who often does silly things but always manages to touch his heart when it matters most. Hearing those words, Jiaxin becomes emotional. Thinking he is speaking to Anna through the disguised performer, Shi Yi finally opens up about his true feelings. He explains that he is married now and is expecting a baby. What once felt like an accident has become something precious to him. He says he wants to give that special girl and their child the loving family they deserve. Jiaxin struggles to hold back her tears as she listens. Just as Shi Yi is about to leave and spend the rest of the day with Jiaxin, her phone suddenly rings. Recognizing the ringtone, he realizes the truth and removes the mascot head. Shocked to see Jiaxin standing there, he understands everything. Jiaxin sadly says she has once again made a mess of things, but Shi Yi gently replies that he is the one who made mistakes. They then exchange warm birthday wishes since they share the same birthday. When Shi Yi asks what gift she wants, Jiaxin gives a simple answer. She only wants to celebrate her birthday with him. Touched by her wish, Shi Yi tries to hug her, and the two end up stumbling and laughing together, creating a sweet and carefree moment. Later, Shi Yi surprises Jiaxin by taking her to an amusement park. He admits that he does not know much about her hobbies, but he remembers seeing heroes take heroines to amusement parks in dramas, so he wanted to try the same. There, he gives her a special birthday present. To Jiaxin's surprise, it is the wedding jewelry her mother had given her, which she had secretly sold to buy Shi Yi's gift. Shi Yi reveals that Dylan told him what happened, so he searched through countless pawn shops until he finally found the jewelry. Deeply moved by his effort, Jiaxin accepts the gift with gratitude. The two then spend the day enjoying rides and attractions together. As they ride the carousel, Jiaxin happily says she wishes every birthday could be this wonderful. Shi Yi jokingly complains that the ride is too childish and might put him to sleep. Jiaxin laughs and explains that many girls dream of moments like this, imagining a Prince Charming arriving on a white horse. Playing along, Shi Yi stands proudly beside her, takes her hand, and jokingly asks if he looks like her Prince Charming, making them both laugh as their bond grows even stronger. After enjoying the rides, Shi Yi and Jiaxin sit together on a bench while drinking juice. Jiaxin happily tells him that it has been one of the best days of her life. Shi Yi smiles and says that next time they should bring their baby Shi Mi with them. Jiaxin agrees and admits that she thought the day had been ruined when she heard that the pen she bought for him had been returned. Surprised, Shi Yi realizes that the special pen had actually been Jiaxin's gift. When he asks how she managed to get it, she explains that she bought it from a famous collector named Gu Yitian. Knowing how stubborn the collector is, Shi Yi suspects that getting the pen could not have been easy. Jiaxin avoids the details and simply says that she told the collector the gift was for someone very important to her. Deep inside, she reflects on how much Shi Yi has changed her life and taught her the true meaning of love. As they share a quiet moment together, Jiaxin rests her head on Shi Yi's shoulder and he gently holds her hand. However, their peaceful evening is interrupted by a call from Yu Xin, who informs them that Jiaxin's mother is unwell. Worried, they immediately rush back to Shanghai. When they arrive, They learn that Jiaxin's mother had been overworking herself by managing both her shop and household responsibilities. Although she insists she is fine, Jiaxin and Yuxin quickly head to the kitchen to prepare something for her. Left alone with Shi Yi, Jiaxin's mother finally expresses her frustration. She reminds him of his promise to care for Jiaxin and questions why he still kept reminders of his former relationship while her daughter was carrying his child. She also brings up the divorce agreement, fearing that Jiaxin will be abandoned after the baby is born. Feeling guilty, Shi Yi accepts all the blame without arguing. Later, while cleaning the house, he is joined by Jiaxin. During their conversation, Shi Yi opens up about his fears and childhood struggles, admitting that he was always taught to hide his emotions. Jiaxin listens carefully and encourages him to stop carrying everything alone. She tells him that families face hardships together and promises that she will always stand by his side no matter what happens. Her words deeply move Shi Yi. For the first time, he feels truly understood. He admits that what scares him most is becoming attached to this life and to her. Jiaxin reassures him that he does not have to face those fears alone. As they embrace, both realize how much closer they have become. Shi Yi then remembers a wish Jiaxin once wrote, hoping for a happy family with their child. Determined to make that dream come true, he confesses that the divorce agreement was a mistake made when he was only thinking about himself. Now, his priorities have changed. He promises to take care of Jiaxin, support her, and build a loving home for their child. With sincerity in his eyes, Shi Yi asks Jiaxin if they can leave the past behind and create a happy future together as a real family. The emotional moment brings them closer than ever, but just as the atmosphere turns romantic, Tian suddenly arrives and interrupts them. Unknown to Shi Yi and Jiaxin, Jiaxin's mother and Yuxin had overheard their heartfelt conversation and were deeply touched by Shi Yi's sincere promises. That night, Jiaxin offers to sleep on the sofa, but Shi Yi refuses. Gently pulling her onto the bed, he jokes that as Shimi's father, he has every right to sleep beside Shimi's mother. Seeing her nervousness, he comforts her, adjusts her position, and wraps an arm around her. Before falling asleep, he admits that this has been the happiest and most meaningful birthday of his life, leaving Jiaxin smiling with happiness. Meanwhile, Anson and Shi-Chi spend time together. After some playful teasing, Shi-Chi challenges Anson to stop acting shy. Gathering his courage, Anson suddenly kisses her, and she kisses him back. Their romantic moment is interrupted by a child, who points out that Anson has popcorn stuck on his head, leaving both of them embarrassed and laughing. The next morning, Shi Yi pretends to be sore and complains about body pain. Concerned, Jiaxin rushes to help him. When she returns with medicine, she is surprised to find him without his shirt. Shi Yi continues teasing her, turning the situation into a playful conversation about love and care. Jiaxin eventually realizes he's exaggerating and playfully scolds him, while Shi Yi enjoys every second of her attention. Later, as Shi Yi gets ready for work, he asks Jiaxin to help tie his tie. While teaching her, he shares a childhood memory about his mother saying that one day only his wife should tie his tie. The sweet moment makes Jiaxin blush, and Shi Yi happily declares that this will now be one of her most important responsibilities. At the same time, Anson finally gathers the courage to confess his true feelings to Shi-Chi. He tells her that their fake dating arrangement is officially over and that he wants them to be a real couple. Shi-Chi agrees with a smile and playfully sets a few conditions. Their relationship finally becomes genuine, making Anson happier than ever. Later, Jiaxin gives Shi Yi a pottery lesson. Since he struggles with the craft, she patiently guides him step by step. However, Shi Yi pays more attention to Jiaxin than to the pottery, teasing her about her soft hands and racing heartbeat. Flustered by his words, Jiaxin quickly stands up, causing Shi Yi to lose balance. When she rushes over to help him, the playful moment turns romantic as they share a tender kiss, bringing them even closer. Not long afterward, Jiaxin visits Shi Yi's company with food prepared by his mother. After receiving her call, Shi Yi immediately heads downstairs, excited and eager to see her. Their growing affection for each other is becoming more obvious with every passing day. Just then, Anna suddenly appears and hugs Shi Yi from behind. Shi Yi is startled while Jiaxin sees the scene and quietly walks away, heartbroken. Anson notices her reaction and follows after her. Anna excitedly asks Shi Yi why he looks surprised, then boldly suggests they get married. However, Shi Yi gently rejects her, explaining that he can no longer marry her. Later, at Anna's house, Shi Yi tells her everything that has happened. Though hurt, Anna proposes that he divorce Jiaxin so they can raise the baby together. Shi firmly refuses, saying Jiaxin and their son, Shimi, are now an important part of his life. He admits that what began as a mistake has turned into something meaningful. Feeling devastated, Anna asks how their relationship ended this way. Shi finally tells her that she always put herself first and left him behind when he needed her most. He explains that he is tired of being the one who suffers and must choose a happier future. In tears, Anna reveals that she was seriously injured around the time of his birthday and had silently endured her pain while struggling with her dance career. She begs for another chance and promises to change. Although Shi feels guilty, he says nothing can undo the past. He admits his own mistakes, but explains that he now has the right to love someone else. Not wanting to hurt either Anna or Jiaxin anymore, he apologizes and leaves. That night, Shi tells Jiaxin that he has explained everything to Anna. Jiaxin worries he shouldn't have gone through such pain, but Shi says revisiting those memories hurt him too. Jiaxin then hesitantly asks whether she still belongs in the house and whether she is still Shimi's mother. She confesses that she never expected to become attached to the family, but everyone's kindness made it impossible not to. Moved by her words, Shi takes out a ring and says his hand feels empty without it. Jiaxin places the ring on his finger, and Shi tells her that from now on, everything he has, including his love, belongs to her. Overwhelmed with emotion, Jiaxin hugs him. Shi promises that he will never make her cry again, and they peacefully fall asleep together. A short time later, Shi receives a call from the hospital informing him that Anna has been found unconscious and admitted for treatment. Jiaxin encourages him to go, understanding that Anna has no one else to rely on. Before leaving, Shi reassures Jiaxin and kisses her forehead. The next morning, Shi reveals that Anna has developed amnesia and cannot remember the events of the past few months. Since she has no family in Shanghai, Jiaxin kindly suggests they help take care of her until she recovers. After being discharged, Anna visits Shi's company. She happily greets him and mentions that she looked for him when she woke up. When they arrive at his office, they find Jiaxin preparing food. Curious, Anna asks who she is. Before Shi can answer, Jiaxin quickly introduces herself as his dietitian. Although Shi is surprised, Jiaxin reminds him that they agreed to look after Anna together. Hearing this, Anna smiles, unaware of the truth. Jiaxin invites Anna to stay for lunch before preparing to leave. Shi tries to stop her, but Jiaxin simply tells Anna to ask him if she wants anything special and walks away. Seeing this, Shi feels guilty. Later, Jiaxin visits Anna's apartment and cooks for her. While working, she receives a message from Shi asking if she is okay. She replies briefly and continues with her chores. Soon Anna arrives with Shi. Excited, she heads into the kitchen and jokes that the dietitian must be preparing something delicious. While cleaning, Jiaxin nearly slips, but Shi quickly catches her. Worried, he reminds her that she is pregnant and should be careful. Anna is surprised to learn about the pregnancy and immediately apologizes for making Jiaxin work. She feels relieved that Shi prevented an accident. When Anna invites Shi to eat with them, he says he has company business and leaves. Anna decides to have lunch with Jiaxin instead. Outside, Shi waits for Jiaxin. When she finally comes out, she is surprised to find him still there. He explains that he sent his car away because it was late, and the two quietly walk home together. The next day, Anna calls Shi and asks him to have lunch with her since Jiaxin is busy attending a class. Shi claims he has an important meeting and cannot come. However, Anna later spots him driving somewhere and secretly follows him. To her shock, he is actually at the hospital attending a parenting class with Jiaxin. Watching them together brings back all of Anna's lost memories, and she leaves in tears. After the class, Jiaxin visits Anna, only to find that Anna remembers everything. Anna coldly asks whether she should call her Jiaxin or Mrs. Wang. When Jiaxin apologizes, Anna lashes out, saying that if she truly felt guilty, she would never have had the baby. Jiaxin explains that she only wants to give birth safely, and then let everyone live peacefully. But Anna insists that Shi belongs to her, and claims that Jiaxin is nothing more than his responsibility. Hurt by those words, Jiaxin breaks down in tears and tries to explain that she never intended to take Anna's place. Later, Anna invites Shi to an elegant restaurant. In front of all the guests, she performs a beautiful dance and then openly confesses her love. At the same restaurant, Jiaxin arrives with Dylan and witnesses everything. Anna admits that her memory has fully returned, but despite that, Shi gently tells her that his heart now belongs to Jiaxin. Though saddened, Anna wishes them happiness and kisses him goodbye. Seeing this, Jiaxin becomes emotional and Dylan quietly takes her away. Afterward, Anna asks Shiyi for one final date before he publicly confesses his love to Jiaxin at the next day's party. Shiyi agrees. During dinner, he admits he expected her to be much angrier. Anna smiles and says that although she was upset at first, meeting Jiaxin changed her perspective. She even reveals that Jiaxin was worried about her and wanted her to perform well at the party, which leaves Shiyi touched by Jiaxin's kindness. Shiyi is surprised when Anna says Jiaxin is worried he might leave her because he had already signed the divorce papers. Anna advises him to settle everything before the upcoming party. Realizing how much uncertainty Jiaxin is carrying, Shiyi immediately calls Mr. Shen and asks him to cancel their divorce agreement. Mr. Shen agrees but suggests discussing it with Jiaxin first since many parts of the contract were written according to her wishes. He even recommends turning the divorce agreement into a marital agreement instead. Shiyi accepts the idea and asks him to prepare the documents before the party while keeping it a secret from Jiaxin. Later that night, Anna gets Shiyi drunk and takes him back to her apartment to rest. While Jiaxin repeatedly calls him, Anna silently puts his phone on mute. The next morning, Anna contacts Jiaxin and tells her that Shiyi spent the night at her place, asking her to come pick him up. Heartbroken, Jiaxin rushes over. Anna explains that nothing inappropriate happened between them and says they only talked about family and children. She shares her fears about becoming a mother and speaks about her own experience of being adopted. Although Anna's words seem harmless, they leave Jiaxin feeling even more insecure. After Anna leaves to buy a birthday gift for Grandma, Shiyi finally wakes up and is happy to see Jiaxin. He apologizes for drinking too much and tries to explain the situation. Jiaxin, however, admits that her real problem is not what happened last night. Ever since they got together, she has struggled to believe that Shiyi truly loves her and wants a future with her. She wonders if he is only staying because of their child, Shimi.